everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going back to the basics, and I'm going to show you that the basics, well, they can be beautiful, not boring. So I am working in my half size composition book. It is 15 inches across and approximately 5 inches up and down. This has been gessoed, and I am thoroughly enjoying the challenge of making this size art journal work. It's making me more creative. So I'm going to use this amaryllis napkin, and I thought it would be nice with this size of spread to go on either side and have the sentiment in the middle. So we've kind of earmuffed them, so to speak. So I rough cut the amaryllis napkin. Lots of times napkins you have multiples of the same image, sometimes in reverse. Now I decided that I may not want this part. So I am just cutting that off because while I want to kind of earmuff each side, I don't want it to look exactly the same. I can move this, put it somewhere else, or if I decide, I'm going to actually glue it back where it was. I have another plan. You're going to see what I end up doing. Now you can take a pair of scissors and cut out the napkin image just like I'm doing here. And if you want to use scissors, do not separate the plies until after you cut it out. Now, I prefer to water cut, so I'm going to remove those excess plies, and I'm going to use my fine line brush with water to water cut around the image. That's going to remove all the excess and get it ready to decoupage down. So I'm removing the excess plies from both parts of this, and then I'm just going to put the journal aside and grab my liner brush, very little water, and work my way around. Now, I plan on gluing this napkin down onto the gessoed white surface before I put any pattern, before I put any stamping. And because it's going to be white, nothing is going to come through and distort my image. I'm going to apply paint later. So this is where I would water cut. I'm just working my way around and little by little till I get both sections done. And then I'm going to just glue this down with fluid matte medium. I just have a little container that I keep filling up, and I'm going to put some underneath and then on top to seal that napkin. That brings out the colors, prevents any wicking or distortion of the image. Now remember, when you are gluing down a napkin, it's not very sturdy and it gets very, very fragile. So you want to use a light hand. Otherwise, you will rip the napkin and you will have to solve that problem. You can paint and solve it. It's not a huge issue, but who needs extra work? I'm just going to put some on top here as well as underneath. And I'm really excited about the composition of this because this isn't something on my art journal pages that I've been able to do. This kind of composition where it's kind of earmuffed on each side with the sentiment in the middle. Now, because there is the spine in the middle, that is something on this spread because it's not, there's that center spine. You have to work around, and I have to be aware that that might cause problems. But no matter what size you work with, there are limitations. There are things that are going to work, and there are things that are going to be more challenging that you have to work around. So I'm going to make sure that this is completely dry. But before, like that part of that napkin, the petal was taken off. So I grabbed a piece of excess that I wasn't going to use, and I'm just cutting the petal shape out of it and basically recreate the petal. Now I could have recreated the petal with paint if I wanted to, but this works as well. And that bud, remember I thought I might use it? This one's pink, but I decide I want it to be that red color. So I'm just gluing it right on top and I've changed the image. I've made it my own for whatever reason. So here is a tip about drying. You want to dry from both sides. That will dry it faster as opposed to just going on the one side. I will link the video where I show how I prepped the composition book in case you want to take a composition book of any size and turn it into an art journal. It's very freeing because it's so inexpensive. You don't have that hesitation or that fear of the blank page. It's not so precious. Here I'm just, once it's dry, cutting it off. So let's create some of that background now. I have a script stamp here and I'm using my pick brush marker and just rubbing it across the script and then stamping. Now I could use my archival ink. I just find this a little darker and it's a little easier than putting acrylic paint, less cleanup. Although you do need to make sure that you thoroughly dry the ink from this marker or it will smudge and smear. So I'm just stamping that in several places, getting some interesting patterning on the background. Then I grabbed a piece of this shelf liner and I'm stamping with black acrylic paint. And as I'm watching this and doing the voiceover, I really like this. I almost wish I had left the background white. I like the black, white, and red that goes on. So I'm going to remember that for another time. Maybe I want to do that because I really like the markings that I've created here. But I choose to go with Naples yellow and some white gesso. That's what you see me putting on the lid, my fancy palette. Now, before I start, I want to, oop, I guess I misunderstood. Here I'm just adding the Naples yellow with some of the white gesso on there. I'm using an angle brush. I find that helps me get around the images. And I'm just covering that up. And I'm going to add more color or less color as it evolves. I'm going to add some gesso, lighten it, darken it, and just play with it. For some reason, as soon as I saw the amaryllis, I was thinking I want Naples yellow in there. I thought that would look good. So I'm just filling that in. Adding some, white gesso to it so you get lighter and darker tones. And if you've got an eagle eye, you're going to note that some of that stamping wasn't completely dry, and so I got a little bit of smudging. So now I'm adding a little bit more white gesso. Right? You have problems, you got to solve them. And that's why I love mixed media and art journaling because it is a lesson in problem solving. It's like, okay, what do I know to do here that's going to help me? So as I'm adding the gesso, that's knocking back some of that stamping that I did because the white gesso is more opaque. The Naples yellow is also an opaque color. So here I'm stamping with white and the same shelf liner, just adding another textural element. Once I dried that, I didn't like the white stamping on the amaryllis, so I wiped that off. And I can do that because I put that coat of fluid matte medium on top. And then I wanted to make some areas just a little bit brighter yellow. So I'm putting that Naples yellow on. But every time I add more Naples yellow, I'm adding more of an opaque color, and it's going to knock back some of that stamping that I did. But I like the brightness of that yellow more. So this is my Moments and Memories sentiment pack. And I found the one that says you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. And I love being able to stick it into the middle here. So that's kind of where I want to go with it. I'm placing it. I like the look of the composition here. I think this gives me an option. And then I decide I'm going to use some stencil butters. This is tangerine and pearl white stencil butter from the Crafter's Workshop. They are pearlized and wonderful. And I've had stencil butters for a long time, and I always hesitate for using them. And recently, you're seeing me use them a lot. I've discovered them and I'm loving it. So I tend to do that because when you have something in your stash, you need to honor that supply by using it. Nothing is so precious that should stay in the tube. So here I'm applying some tangerine and some of the white pearl, and it's mixing on the key card as I press it in. And I'm going to apply this to 3 places. This is giving some shimmer, some shine. It's knocking back what's behind it a little bit. And it's just adding a textural element as well. And I love that pearlized shimmer that it gives. And one of my favorite ways of using the stencil butters is using at least 2 colors and letting them blend as you apply it through a stencil. I'm going to give this a little bit of a dry before I put this third one. I don't want to make a mess. I'm just applying it. Now I have some left on the key card and some that's on that stencil, but waste not, want not. So I grab one of those excess napkin plies and I'm pushing it through the stencil onto the napkin ply. And I can use that as collage paper because the napkin will go translucent, transparent, and you will just have the stencil butter pattern to collage onto another project. So I'm just setting that aside to dry. And then I'm going to clean my stencil. You got to clean that stencil butter off pretty much right away. Now, my amaryllis was pretty bright. So I just grabbed a little bit of cadmium red and I'm watering it down and I'm giving a wash of color just to deepen that color ever so slightly. Now I could have done this with my Inktense blocks. I'm showing what you can do with acrylic paint, but the key here is watering it down so it becomes more of a wash than an application of paint. And it's just deepening the color. And then you're going to see me coming in with white and black and adding some highlights and some shading. I leave the white amaryllis alone. I did no shading or anything on it. And that's the thing, when you're overpainting or tweaking colors, you pick and choose. You could do some all the way to all of it. Look at that shimmer from those stencil butters. So here I'm just adding some highlights with white in my angle brush, putting it on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I kind of go with what looks good. There's also, I'm looking at the original napkin and seeing where the highlights were, especially, and then putting them back in. And then I'm going to edge with black all the way around. This frames it, adds that dark element in there. It just makes everything work together. Don't be afraid to turn the page as you go. Whatever is easiest for you is what you should do. And then I'm gluing down the sentiment right in the middle. I kind of folded it so that it would fit into the crack of the spine. And I'm just gluing that down with my fluid matte medium. Then once that's dry, I grab my fine line applicator bottle. This has black acrylic paint, Liquitex Basics, that I've thinned down, trial and error to get the right consistency. And then I'm just going to go around the sentiment. You could do this with a black liner pen, a Posca pen. I find it just as easy to do it with the fine line applicator bottle. And then I'm going around the outside edge as well, putting just a line all the way around. If you appreciate my tutorials, please give me a thumbs up, like the video, share this with your creative friends, leave me a comment. That helps me grow my channel, and I really appreciate any of all of this. So there is the finished page. I love it, and I can't wait to do another page in this half-size composition book. Until next time, go get creative.